Merry Meet and welcome. This is Ariel and this is a general reading for all signs for today, the 23rd of December, 2023. We are streaming on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Sarah, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Dre. If you're watching this on a restream and you want to fast forward through all of my shuffling, you can use the timestamps right in the video description of this video. Today I am reading with this Besançon deck from 1780. Let's purify with a Florida water. Put some in this spray bottle. 3 sprays in this room is more than sufficient. Try not to get it in my coffee. And like I said, this is a general reading for all signs for today, the 23rd of December 2023, going out to a lot of people. So if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you personally, just disregard it because it may not indeed be meant for you. In that case, check out the zodiacal readings for your own individual sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign, all of which are available on my YouTube channel. You can see I'm shuffling hand over hand with this. It's a museum quality deck that should not be riffle shuffled if you do buy this deck. You can find links to purchase this deck and the Florida water right in the video description of this video on my YouTube channel. If you are watching on YouTube, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you are watching on Twitch, please make sure that you follow us on Twitch. You can watch on Twitch without any ads when you subscribe to us there. You can find restreams for all of the tarot readings right on our website, arielscorner.com. arielscorner.com. Just click on the free online tarot readings link right in the main menu. If you'd like to support our channel with a donation, you can do that by going to paypal.me/arielgatoga. paypal.me/arielgatoga. If you're watching on YouTube, you could use a super sticker or super chat if you're live, or a super thanks if you are watching on a restream. Another way to support us is by visiting our affiliate store, and that's at arielscornershop.com. arielscornershop.com. We make a small commission off of each and every sale. We do appreciate your support, but mostly what we appreciate is that you're here today for this general reading for all signs. And this is feeling pretty darn shuffled, so let's take this deck and give it a nice clean cut, and we'll see what's in the cards for everybody today, shall we? Yes, we shall, Ariel. That's what we're here for. Ace of Cups, Empress card, and Ace of Swords. Well, my goodness, it's not a bad thing to be us today. Look at this beautiful, beautiful base reading. The Empress is the goddess of poise and prosperity. Just literally everything comes to her because she is who she is. She doesn't have to do anything except for be poised, peaceful, and serene. And everything she needs, everything she desires, everything she requires, it comes to her. And she doesn't think about it. It's just she understands that that's the case, and she knows it, and she is prosperity itself. Now, you can learn lessons from this goddess of prosperity. I even have a meditation based on this card called Lessons from the Goddess of Prosperity that you can find and listen to if you want to. All those tarot meditations, there's a link for those on every single, in the video description of every single tarot video that I have. So that's a good one, but you want to learn the lessons of the Goddess of Prosperity, because it's saying that today marks a beginning, a huge beginning. Look at this. You've got the Ace of Cups, which is something that you're already coming out of, and you're facing toward the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is the winning card. You win you win over. If there's any conflict, you don't want to be on the side of anybody but you today, because you're the winner. You have the winning hand, hands down. So, and then this Ace of Cups is an opening that you have just, most of you anyway, have already started to experience. And that's an inner opening and seeing things in a new way, looking at things with fresh eyes. So it's a beautiful, beautiful day, very prosperous. And remember, prosperity, don't just think money. Not that money's wrong or bad. Of course, if you need money, you can have money. But prosperity is very inclusive. Prospering means to turn out well, to do well, to feel good, to be healthy, to be peaceful, to be friendly, to be happy. right? To have your needs met in a wonderful way. And that's today. That's what today is all about. And we want to learn these lessons today because we want to bring this forth into our entire new year, right? This prosperity can be a prosperous new year for everybody. Jupiter, which is also it's funny because this region was Protestant, this Besançon region that came out with this deck. And so the Pope was not a cool symbol for them because they rejected the Pope. So the Pope card became Jupiter. The only problem with that is that it's very challenging to use traditional meanings for the Hierophant or the Pope card when you're dealing with Jupiter. I'll talk about it in a second. Let's just put the rest of these out here. We've got the 10 of coins. And then we've got Le Pendu. No, we don't need this. But that's okay. I'm going to talk about everything. It's all good. Everything is great. Okay, so let's go with the symbol of Besançon here rather than trying to stuff the image of the Pope into Jupiter. Let's just let Jupiter be Jupiter. Jupiter is expansive. Now, this is more than just the planet of Jupiter. This is the god Jupiter. This is the god Zeus, the king of all gods. The boss of Olympus, the head, the chairman of the board of all gods, blessing you with prosperity, right? And that prosperity is happening. And what we want to make sure is that we don't do the ego trick of putting our prosperity in time. So what I'm saying is, if you get, like, say something pays out, or you get a bunch of money, or you make a big sale, or whatever your way of making money is, and then it looks like that might be happening. Or you might get a nice gift or something, some financial transaction or something that's very lucrative, and it works out for you. It looks like that might be happening for many of you. Don't say, "Isn't that nice that happened in time?" Don't say, "Oh, yay, that happened," because all of a sudden that relegates it to something that's already happened in the past. You want to look at that as being how you are, how things are financially for you. I am prosperous. This is the way it is. This is how I live. I live by constantly receiving all the prosperity that is my divine right. Right? So of course you want to be grateful for what happens. But you don't want to be grateful in the ego version of gratitude, which was, "Isn't that great? I'm so grateful that happened," rather than, "I'm so grateful that this is happening, that this happens for me, that this is my way of being. I'm so prosperous. I'm so grateful for being so prosperous." Because then the ego wants to say, now, if you have prosperity, that's wonderful. This is your ego talking. If you have prosperity, that's wonderful, and you deserve it, but you gotta pay for it. You've gotta pay for it. Wherever there is good, there must be some bad. Wherever there's some pleasure, there must be some pain. That's what the universe demands from you. It demands that you pay, that you sacrifice. Nothing good comes easy. This is how the ego talks. And you want to understand that there's always a kernel of truth in whatever the ego is trying to sell, but then it distorts it. It's true that there is always a cause before there's an effect. It's true that there's always balance. It's true that there's always a so-called cost for everything. But it's not the cost that the ego wants to convince you it is. The ego wants you to be in pain in order to pay for whatever pleasure you have. The ego wants you to suffer for every amount of good that you have. And you've got to get that out of your head. That's not the will of the universe. That's not truth. That's a lie. That's a lie. The cost of prosperity is your prosperous thoughts. The cost of good is your thoughts of good. You have to generate those thoughts. You're responsible for what you think. It's not that in order for you to have good that you must suffer. That makes absolutely no sense because thought is creative. And the ego knows this, because the ego knows if you start thinking, oh, I got to pay for whatever good I have by suffering, then you're going to create more suffering for yourself, because those are the thoughts that you're thinking. I hope I'm making sense. So don't buy into this, ooh, I'm going to have to pay for this, or, oh, I better, temper this with some suffering. I know that we wouldn't actually say it that way, because if you say it that way, it sounds ridiculous, and you say, no, that's not right. So the ego wants everything to be sort of under the surface so that you don't question it. But do question whether you believe that all the good that is coming into your life is going to come at a very big cost. The big cost that it's going to come at is that you get to change your mind around. You get to think in a new way. You get to think in a more gracious way. A lot of times what happens is when we start having this kind of prosperity and we understand that it is based on our thinking, then we start being more gracious with other people. We start offering grace to people that we wouldn't offer them before, because it's a natural thing to want to share your prosperity with others. And there's nothing more prosperous than giving grace to people, especially people who we once didn't think deserved it. Right? And the ego is like, no, none of that, no. Remember, you hate them. You can't be given grace. This is danger. So be aware of those kinds of mental games that the ego plays with you. Right? To be prosperous, you have to think prosperously. To think prosperously, it must be all-inclusive. To be all-inclusive, that means that you get to start to give people grace, just like this goddess. She is very gracious. She's very forgiving. She's very loving, but she's no victim. She's no victim. She doesn't get victimized. In fact, she doesn't even have to think about protecting herself. Anybody that goes against her zaps themselves. It's just like she's got this aura that is so protective that if anybody comes into her sphere that's not good for her, they are disintegrated. She's so prosperous. That's her power. But she's peaceful. She's poised. She's serene. She's not out to get anybody. She's not out to protect herself, right? And that's what lesson we want to learn, is that I can have anything that I want if I can learn how to be poised, if I can learn how to be peaceful and serene and loving and gracious. And the ego does not want such things, because once you start doing that, then the ego starts dissolving, and it doesn't want to dissolve. It's got its own survival instinct, right? So just be aware of that. Just be aware of that. And also be aware that the ego is not a sentient being. It's a computer program or a computer virus is a better way of putting it, that we kind of bought into millions of years ago in order to have the kind of world that we thought that we wanted to live in. Now we're starting to understand we don't like that kind of world. We want to have a better kind of world. And so that's going to involve dissolving some of those ego thoughts, and maybe ultimately all of those ego thoughts. But that happens organically. You don't have to think about killing the ego or anything. All you have to do is learn how to disregard the ego when it comes up with these thoughts of, oh no, I've got to pay. Oh no, I've got to suffer. Oh no, things have to be hard in order to balance out all of the ease that I'm experiencing now. That's the hogwash. That's not true. That is not true. So let yourself learn the lessons from this goddess of prosperity, the Empress, rather than the chattering, raucous, nonsense insanity that comes from the ego mind. Right? So check out that meditation if you desire to maybe explore this type of prosperity, or the true type of prosperity that the goddess of prosperity wants to teach you. And it's called Lessons from the Goddess of Prosperity, based on the Empress card. You can listen to that for free, of course. All my stuff is free, including my meditations. Just look in the video description of this video or check it out on my website, arielscorner.com. Thank you so much for being here today. We are off tomorrow, so if you celebrate Christmas, have a very, very Merry Christmas, and we'll see you on the 26th for more fun. Blessed be.